Right. So, welcome. This is the first episode that you and I are going to do, or are doing, and it's called Crossing Borders. I'm David Watson, and you are?
I'm Sidney Ndokera. I thought this is the second one now.
Well, it is technically, but it's taken us a while from that first episode to get back together. And
Yes, yes.
one of the things I'm going to jump straight in with, right? Because I know you wanted a list, and yeah, I,
I'd like
I,
to be organized.
yeah, and I, as you know, I like to just kind of talk more about how we think and how we feel about certain things.
Yeah, sure.
So that there are going to be a few discussions which we're going to break down into separate episodes, right?
Yeah, no worries.
So obviously the World Cup has just started,
Oh, yes,
and
so I heard.
yeah, right, and it's in Qatar, and everybody, or a lot of people, at least in the media and in the United Kingdom, if that's correct, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
are losing their shit about alcohol, gay rights, feminist rights, etc., etc. And I've thought about this, and it's not that I don't care about them. I don't think it's fair for us to go to another country and project our values on them, even if I disagree with their values. They, we, FIFA, the West, whatever way you want to call it, knew who Qatar was before all of this started, and now we've taken the money they've paid to host the World Cup, knowing who they are, knowing what they are, knowing their beliefs, their religion, their culture, and now we've gone over there and we're like, we completely disagree with you and that you're wrong. And like Harry Kane is apparently going to start the England match by wearing the armband with all the colours. We're going to take the knee. And I'm just like, I just think it's disrespectful to another culture, another group of people, another country. And I'm not saying that I agree that their rights are good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's like turning up at my house and saying, I don't like where you put the TV. I don't like the Catholic cross you've got on the wall. And that's how I feel about it. I just like, we should never, if England as a country, if the FA felt so strongly about it, they should
Yeah,
have pulled out of the World Cup.
as simple as. So I think the thing is, we have to respect people, and respect is a two-way street.
Yeah.
I respect you, you respect me. So we respect all forms of human beings. We respect black people, white people. We respect gay people, straight people. All people needs to be respected. You respect all people's religions also, as you said. That needs to be respected also. But the thing is, the main thing I find this extraordinary is the hypocrisy that is there. For example, there was on Saturday when Giovanni Infantino had his speech, and then his man, or maybe the main man in communication is a gay man who also gave a speech afterwards, and he didn't have any problems. But what I'm saying is, people are happy to take Qatari money, very happy to take Qatari money because you see big stars like David Beckham, the ambassadors of that, and people, all those people who have gone and do football, they are happy to take Qatari money. No issues about that.
Hmm.
But now they want to tell the Qataris how to live their lives.
Yeah. And that's my
As,
issue.
that's where the problem is. The issue with the migrant workers, it's a huge problem. It's an issue, but it's been known. The issue with the gay rights is a big problem. It's been known. These people, these things have been highlighted. It's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there. So it's. I think if all those countries that were against it, are against the Qataris, as you said, boycott the World Cups.
And that is honestly how I feel about it. If
Yeah.
the English FA came out and said, look, we can't support this because of your cultures, your beliefs, they're not aligned with ours in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Right. So we're pulling England out of the World Cup. I can actually respect and get behind that decision.
Yeah. But whilst you're there, you need to pull out minimum money from Man City. You need to pull out money from Newcastle. You also need to pull out. See, it's a ripple effect.
Yeah, I do understand that. I just think it's an hypocrisy to go out there and then protest the very things that we've always known the country was for.
That is very true. That is very true because the Qataris haven't been hiding. What I find the only thing that I find extraordinary that I totally disagree with is to change the rules last minute.
Was that around alcohol?
So sorry. So these are things around, for example, the armband, the things around the alcohol. They change it last minute. Things around it, like the start of the football, for example, Ecuador was supposed to start at a certain time, then it just started at a certain time. But that is more of a FIFA problem than a Qatari problem.
Well, I'm going to speculate that Qatari haven't changed anything. I'm going to speculate that Qatari have always had that stance, and FIFA were trying to work around it, and realised eventually, with 48 hours to go, Qatari wasn't changing their stance.
And then because
that's what I suspect.
I have no information except the things that I'm getting on TV, on the media, and that kind of stuff. No information.
Well, the only reason I say it like that is because generally, in my vast experience in life, however vast that is what you tend to get is people hold their ground to start with.
Yeah.
People don't normally agree to something, especially as big as this and as global as this, and then backtrack on it.
Or they do.
No, there will always be exceptions, but not with 48 hours to go. What I'm going to say is,
sorry, if you watch that Netflix documentary on FIFA and how the organization is run, and especially the type of Sepp Blatter and everything, there were some encouragements, financial encouragements for certain people to look at things in a different way.
But what I'm saying is, I don't believe that Qatari have ever, in any way, shape, or form, have embraced this idea that you can drink alcohol wherever you want.
But it's been said a long time. It was there on the medias. It was there. They have come on programs like Talk Sport. The people who were in charge been questioned about this and
FIFA,
saying,
the FIFA people.
No. The Qatari people, the people who runs the Qatari thing.
The people that are liaising with FIFA. What I'm saying is, I don't believe the Qatari.
You mean the Emirates? The Emirate might have said, "This is my country. This is how it goes." But he has people who were running this football. Who was running the World Cup, and one of them, this guy who went to Sheffield, Sheffield University, I forgot his name. Yeah. One of them, he was saying, he was the lead man. I was saying, no, with alcohol, and it's fine. It's not a problem. We are an inclusive country. It's fine. You can come and do that, and they are designated places where you should be doing it.
And this is what I'm saying is there is still those designated places are still in place.
Yeah,
they've not changed. The idea that you would be allowed to
has reduced the number of designated places.
No. When I was in many years ago, when I was in Morocco, there were designated areas where Westerners could go and drink.
Yeah,
even though it's a non-alcohol country. And from people I know that have lived in Oman, lived in Saudi, Dubai, there are always have been, the last 20 years at least, designated areas where Westerners can go and drink. Right? And I believe that's always been the case with Qatar. And I think all that's happened is FIFA have come along and said, no, it's okay, you'll be able to drink in stadiums, blah, blah. In Qatar, I suspect Qatar have always said, no, you won't.
See, FIFA has gone and made a deal with Budweiser. It's a Budweiser that the 40 million deal that they've gone and went and made, and So there was money involved. There's always money involved.
And this is what I'm saying. I suspect if somebody had actually spoken to somebody in Qatari who actually made the decisions, they'd have always said, no, you will be allowed to drink in the designated areas, but you won't be drinking at the stadium. You will not be walking through Qatar with a pint of beer in your hand.
But in all seriousness, how long is the World Cup? How many days?
4 weeks, is it?
Sorry, 4 weeks. So you in your hotel you can drink. In all seriousness, you
I
won't
don't think
suffer
people
much.
out there care about it. I don't think the people there care.
Who's
It's the media.
Who's complaining?
It's all in the media about things have changed, and values and all that. It's just like, no, Qatar has always been who they are.
Yeah. But on values, it's very subjective, isn't it? As a very subjective topic, because as we said in the beginning, the Qatari values is their values.
Yeah.
And the Western values is their value. Even the Western values are not the same values, As that video I sent to you last time pointed out that there are contentious issues about race, contentious issues about migrants, contentious issues about abortions and stuff like that. So everywhere you go, there are issues. Yeah. So
I
just want the football. Unfortunately,
all I've ever been interested in the football. I never thought taking it to Qatar was a good idea. For lots of different
conspiracy. Actually, I thought Qatar will win out versus Ecuador.
Yeah. Well, when that penalty got, so hang on a second. I mean, I know they've said it's now offside because of a knee, but I just like, okay.
Which penalty that went to Ecuador?
Yeah, the Ecuador penalty, and he got disallowed after he scored, and I was just like,
the first goal that got disallowed. Yeah, the first goal. Yeah, it was a header. It was. Yeah, technically, if you and I, we watch English football every weekend. Yes, that's true. It was they do on that centimeter. That is on VAR. On VAR. That's okay. He was offside, technically offside.
Okay,
that's the rules of the game. Every time we moan about it, and that's the rules. He was offside.
So,
but what I was expecting, defenders. Ecuador defenders to make huge errors, deliberate handballs. But they were professional, right? I don't know. I would be as professional as they were if I was playing.
yeah. I like I said, I'm just going to finish this on. There are many values with Qatar that I don't share. Many principles, many values.
Both of us, definitely.
That we don't share with them.
Yeah.
However, your country, your rules.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Allah bless you. God bless
you. The thing is, if you don't want what I do, don't come into my house.